Over the next session, I'm going to be sharing a few true life stories from my work, from my experience, that basically touch on this issue of organizational politics and try to draw lessons from them. I'm going to address things like the reality that in any given organizational structure, some people are making decisions about you which you have little control over. Some people are making decisions about you in your absence, and they are leveraging some influence they have around those decisions. I'm also going to talk about the aspects such as the inevitability of your progress if you are able to maintain your level of competence, excellence, and navigate the realities of this so-called organizational politics. I'm also going to be talking about things around how to find influential or powerful people who can be on your side and how to make sure they are on your side. Now, the first story I'm going to share with you is my first year in Airtel Nigeria back in 2007. I had come in as a contract staff along with two other ladies, Nkichi and Tomi, whom I basically came into the organization with, and I was going through the ropes in terms of onboarding with them. And in one occasion, we had to talk to one of the HR ladies, a very prominent lady in HR, well, who was basically standing in for us, starting to speak for us in terms of bringing us on board in the organization. Now, I'm not sure what exactly I did to her, but in the conversation that ensued between us and her, she openly said in Nigerian parlance, "Shebi, you will come back for full staff or full staff status." In essence, she was saying she was aware that we were contract staff and that I was a contract staff. And she was essentially saying that she had influence over whether I would be absorbed later after 6 months, after 1 year, and all that. And that is a scary proposition for someone who just joined the organization and who was in a position where we're basically at the mercy of HR. Now, my colleagues were scared for me. Nkichi was scared for me. I should talk to Geraldine, who was our manager at that time, because this HR person had made an open threat, all right, more or less. I basically didn't see too much need to do that. I wasn't too perturbed. I don't know why I wasn't, maybe my faith, etc. But in essence, the reason for this story is the fact that it is obvious that she had power to do something about my employment or my coming on board. She could cook up something. And whatever she had power on has nothing to do with the policies of the organization, nothing to do with the quality of my work, which she had not seen, nothing to do with anything that is of substance. She perceived that I had offended her, and she was basically setting a trap based on her position of power. You see, the position of power people have has an influence on your outcomes. It's a reality in the workplace. It may even be that you've not done anything. It may be they have misunderstood you. It may be that they just don't like people from your place. You know, so it could be so many things, but the conscious thought I want to convey to start with is that there are people in your organization who have influence over your outcomes, right? In a way that is unrelated to logic, but it's a living reality. And you must be aware of that. If you are not aware of that, you're being naive. If you are not conscious of that, if you have not taken time to identify those people, they are stakeholders in your own progress, then you are being naive. It's important that you understand that reality in our human construct. In our human construct, justice is not a perfect, concept. It's not perfect. Justice is not perfect. You may not always get justice. So if, for example, you have taken up a fight with a much more powerful person, you may realize that justice may not be done in our context. So it's not to say that you shouldn't fight for justice. It's just to say that you should be aware that in the construct, or in the organizational construct, there are certainly certain people whose power supersedes yours and whose opinions are more powerful in decisions regarding you. In this case, it was the HR person. There are other cases that I can highlight, and I'll talk about that more in this course.